I want to drink wine.
Hello, welcome to Transformers, the show, episode 54. On today's show, we're joined by Rudy and Xortrider. They're going to talk to us about a new production that we're all going to be included in. We've got all the news, all the latest pickups that we've got, plus that great discussion at the end. Looking forward to that. So it is now time to go straight on to the news.
I talk some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
So here we have shared some of the concept art for the Beast Wars, live-action Beast Wars film. Now, this is apparently quite old.
Yeah, it's Rob Wiggins that done it. It's his concept art.
I think you know more about this than me, don't you, Jamie?
Yeah, it was something I think he did to do with First Night or Last Night. I can't remember the Bayverse films, but it's very much in the Bayverse sort of style. You can see there because the art looks hideous. So yeah, that's definitely
I'm trying to make out what that is.
You know, but I remember the ape concept art we saw of Optimus Primal, and that was pretty. I actually quite liked that, even though the scale was complete out of it. But yeah,
so done together.
Well, yeah, this is what he's done. This is what he's done, concept art, which he decided just to release. And I think it was something he did about 3 or 4 years ago when he was working in Hasbro from about 2011 to about 2016 or something. So
we've seen that photo before, haven't we, Jamie?
Yeah, I don't know if that's actually his work. I'm not sure if that's actually his work, but the cheetah stuff definitely was the stuff we saw before. And that was just some concept art he's released. And I think the internet thought, oh my God, this is the actual stuff, then reacted because no one really liked it. Which is a bit unfair because he was obviously working to, Bayverse standards, which are quite low. So you can't blame the guy. But, I mean, for what it's worth, I think it... No, actually, I don't like it. It's hideous. I'm sorry, I tried to say it.
It looks like an abstract art made out of fabric. Like, it looks like there's stitching down the side. It looks like
right.
It's
cool.
That looks right.
That
looks hideous. That looks really bad.
I really like that.
Yeah, I do.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it's got this 1990s kind of anime flavour to it.
Bit like sort of like that long
like
neck
the Guyver
Nemesis from 2018.
It does look like Guyver. I'll give you that. But Guyver looks cooler.
Do you mean it looks like the Guyver in a car crash who's been
Not MacGyver.
Not MacGyver. With a paperclip.
The Guyver, okay, not MacGyver. Jesus.
All right, cool. Right, what's next?
Yes, he's dashing blonde hair and blue eyes. No, yeah.
Peter
So,
Cullen
Alexis,
returns.
this is you've heard about, and I missed this, but go on, Alexis.
So Peter Cullen is going to be in the new Netflix Kingdom playing Galvatron.
No,
actually Optimus Prime, but he's in the Kingdom playing Optimus Prime's back for Optimus Prime.
but that last Optimus Prime was so good. Not.
But
You were a big fan.
Do you think this will be better though? Because they'll go, here's the lines that Optimus Prime's meant to say, and he'll go at this. Optimus Prime is not going to say, forgive me, fuck off. This is what Optimus Prime's going to say instead. Do you think he might give it a better direction?
Well, what if he actually went back and redid all the lines that the other actor did just for fun and released it?
And changed the whole series and made it good.
And then I go, actually, no, I quite like it now.
Well,
I
that's
don't
good
think
news.
it's going to make any difference, to be honest. I don't think it's going to make any difference. I think Siege, I liked Siege. I thought it was okay for what it was. Earthrise, after I think it was about the third episode, I just lost track of it. And I don't think just changing one character's voice is going to make a lot of difference, to be honest.
No.
It's already probably not going to be that great.
You're a wise man beyond your years.
Reading between the lines, I'm sensing potentially though that if they're getting Cullen on board now,
You'll have no
that
budget
they might...
for any animation.
no, we already know they haven't got a budget for animation. But are they going to get him on board just for 6 short episodes, or is there going to be something a bit deeper?
I honestly
blow our minds.
I thought the news was going to be better. Like, we have cloned Cullen. We'll never miss them.
Yeah, there's 2 of him.
We will
By the power of
always have him.
Photoshop.
Yeah, it must have been a slow week for news. What's next?
Then we had Deep Cover.
God, it was a slow week.
Did we actually know that Deep Cover was coming before it kind of just suddenly appeared on all the websites?
Is this
It was on the listings, weren't it? It was on some listings ages ago. Yeah, ages ago.
That's why we brought you here for the knowledge.
Captured and tied up by Doctor No.
So was this IDW character, Deep Cover?
I have no idea. I don't remember.
E-Hobby.
Go on,
Is it
Rich.
E-Hobby recolour? There we are. Sorry, don't Rudy, you know more than that.
No, it's all right. You've taken the words out of my mouth.
Great mold, though, isn't it?
It looks
Love the
fantastic.
sideswipe one.
I mean, it does look good. I don't know whether it would be enough to make me want to buy the same mold again.
I'll buy it.
But for people who are a fan of the mold, and for Jamie, who buys everything, you know. I mean, that looks
7
nice.
or 8 now. 7 or 8 of this mold.
Christ.
Oh, it must be.
Just leave it alone.
It's like
I don't even
Hasbro
have the
made
toy,
it,
but
and the
leave it
fans were
alone.
like, "Oh, that's really good. Oh, cool. We'll make 8 of them." What? No, we just said it was good.
That's not what we meant. Yep, you'll love it. You'll buy it.
Isn't it ironic how there's more
18.
of that? There's more of this now than there are of the Seeker mold.
Yeah.
Oh god, we do have a lot of the Seekers.
The thing is, I love a repaint. I'm all about it. But when it gets too much, it really everything loses. Do you get that train of thought?
When do you think it gets too much? 8, 18, 22?
Can you tell Hasbro?
4,
yeah, I'd say 4's a fair enough number.
says the jaded Transformers collector.
They have done the right thing though by releasing it not all together, which is what a lot of companies do and fail. They released this one right at the very end, at least one at the very beginning, and a couple in the middle. So they've spaced them out. So if you didn't get your fill on one, you might want to get the other one.
And this is the oldest remains of a Transformer found. At least
This was
up in
cool.
the
Yeah,
news.
dug up a fossil.
Archaeology. That's it.
This
is
was
just outside
from-
Kent, I think.
This
Below
was
a
from
monastery.
the some advert. I can't remember what the product was in America, but O.J. Simpson was the actual star of the advert. In the advert, I want to say it was Burger King or something. In the advert, they had 2 actors dressed up as Jazz and Thundercracker, and somebody has discovered these costumes just recently and put the photos on, which you can see there. So that's the Jazz costume, which does come with his G1 type rifle, but I don't think it's in that photo. I'm not sure if I have a photo of that one.
Worn by a killer.
If the glove fits. Look at that head sculpt. And then Thundercracker there.
Who
I
was
think
the
is that
actor who
Jazz's
played
gun at the
Thundercracker?
side? Who's what, sorry?
Who was the actor who
Yes, that
played
is Jazz's
Thundercracker?
gun.
Yeah, I think that's where Jazz's gun is, because Thundercracker's got his well, they're not null rays, are they? What weapon did Thundercracker actually have? Whatever it was.
Just watching the advert now, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's
Looking at
on
myself.
some of the websites. It's on YouTube, the actual advert. And if you are really interested, if you go on cybertron.com and look in their news, which is where I was able to find these photos that they've been sharing.
Was
they
there
have
anyone
links
famous
to it.
who played Thundercracker?
Summertime. Great for relaxing with friends and enjoying Pioneer's Summer Fun Special. You get 8 large pieces of golden Pioneer chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy, and coleslaw for just $6.99. And Pioneer's even got free coupons for a Universal Studios tour, with the biggest discounts including a free admission. There's exciting attractions like Transformers Base Camp, 2010 Spacewalk, and much more. Of course, Pioneer Chicken Summer Fun Special for $6.99 is a great way to make new friends, right, fellas?
It was
Brad Pitt.
Young
Amazing.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah, he was only
Amazing,
6.
yeah.
it was for
Stilts.
Child labour.
It was for
one in commercials for theme parks in the Great America. Oh, like Great America, sorry.
Family Pack, I think the restaurant's called.
There you go.
No,
I think apparently they had working lights on Jazz's chest, headlights, and they had supposedly they think there might have been a voice changer, an internal voice changer for the helmets, so that it sounded more like robotic when the actors obviously spoke, or whoever it was. But there you go. And then obviously Kingdom Huffer, which seems to be bizarrely something that everybody's excited about. Whoever thought we'd all be excited for Huffer. And there's been some photos from Kremzik Reviews on YouTube, and he's done a nice comparison shot there, so we get an idea of the size
Got
of
a
it.
big gun there, hasn't he?
I love the gun.
Yeah.
That looks well cool.
That looks
And
really
I'd be
pop as
41
well.
years old and still saying that.
It's like they gave Huffer a makeover. We're going to make him fucking rock, and they did.
Exactly. It's like what they did with Spinister. And so like, let's take somebody who in G1 was basically rubbish and let's make them awesome.
I really want to make Wind Charge like that, just so Jamie can suck it.
Yeah. A good-looking wind charger just for you, Jamie. And there he is with Prime's trailer, which you have seen before, and then just one last shot of him there on his own.
With his big gun.
And again, just because it's been released and a lot of people have been talking about it, so you've got the Studio Series Grimlock and a couple of in-hand photos from people who've been lucky enough to pick him up in the US of A again. And there he is next to Earthrise Prime.
He just looks perfection. He just...
Looks
It's
big
awesome,
as well.
isn't it?
Big and chunky.
Yeah.
Next to
Big,
Masterpiece
isn't he?
Grimlock.
Big.
Do you think we'll end up with the other ones? Do you think we'll end up with the other ones?
They are.
Surely
I think
they
we'll get
will.
this.
I think we'll get a leader sludge and a leader slag and a Voyager swoop, and I think that might be it. I don't know if we'll get a snarl because he was only in that one scene of the movie, wasn't he?
This is why we should make sure that one scene is on the Twitter constantly. 24/7.
They did have it, didn't they? Remember they had the leaks and they had slag and they had about 4. They had the Dinobots listed, didn't they? They had them all listed before.
Yeah, it was the slag with Daniel, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Slag with Daniel. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I think the sales will dictate that, and I think they'll get really good sales through this Studio Series line.
And I think if they do the rest of them, they're giving these like minifigures like Wheelie away, and with each of them, I reckon the 2 Quintesson figures out of the Pit of Judgment will get put in with the other Dinobots.
Is everybody aware with Wheelie that he's in a static position?
Yeah,
his legs don't move. He's in a permanent squat so that he can sit on Grimlock's back.
I don't know.
So apparently, the people who've got him out of the boxes now, there's some other photos where he is basically stuck in that squat position.
I've seen a photo. Oh, good God.
That was so weak. And yet, I'm still
Wheelie, was it?
Wheelie.
I've seen a photo where someone's taken the legs off Titan's Return Wheelie and put them on this figure, and it doesn't look too bad.
All right. Well, there you go. You can mod it then, I suppose. That's one thing you can do. And that was all the Hasbro news that's new and improved. So I'm just going to have to switch over to our wonderful third-party news.
To the dark side.
We do theme tunes, don't we? Third party.
And this is why we don't do our own theme tunes.
Next, that was just Star Wars, Alexis.
It was.
Oh, okay.
It was
Your own theme song, just sing Star Wars.
I was about to burst out the
Jurassic Park.
No, I was about to burst out the jazz flute after that. So.
I look forward to it. Anyway, Alexis, this is your area of expertise, so crack on.
So, anyone want to guess the character, the company? Out there?
Company or the character? The company.
Well, it says
Ultra Magnus.
It says Fans Toys at the bottom corner, so I'm guessing.
There you go. Because it was. Thank you, Richard.
Alexis doesn't read very well.
Hey, thank you, Rich Dastardly. But there was controversy. Was this actually going to be Fans Toys? And then everyone was like, "Oh, it can't be Fans Toys." And then go, "Well, why has Fans Toys got their own logo at the bottom here?" So this is Fans Toys Ultra Magnus. No one's ever seen it before. Brand new. Obviously, you can see it's some sort of plastic 3D render, and it's pretty good. It's what you want an MP Magnus to be like. And you obviously turn around and look at my Magnus. I imagine that's going to scale pretty well. It's going to be just a little bit bigger than what. Sorry, I've turned around. Just a little bit bigger than what the sort of Springers look like from Fans Toys or from MMC, etc. So he's going to be a bit smaller, for about 2 inches smaller than your MP Magnus, I imagine. So be very interesting to see how he actually.
What interests me is how this person's house is so posh that they've got all those lovely lights and the lovely flowers, and then they've just put a really dirty pillow on the left-hand side for everyone to see, and it looks like someone's sleeping on the sofa. It's like a really posh house.
Maybe they are.
I don't know. It kind of looks like one of these old hospital wards, actually.
Maybe it's Tonton's house. Maybe that's where he's taking this photo.
Before we do this, Farrell just zooms in on like the decorum, like the wallpaper.
Decor.
I imagine you used to sit there through the keyhole with a bag of popcorn.
It looks like Mash architecture, actually, for me. John McIntosh, Victorian.
I think we're going off track, so let's move on.
I'm sorry, education's important.
Not about decor.
Dr. Wu Chatter, their 51st release. This is Beast Box, Squawk something. Is it Beast Squawk? What's the original one called?
Squawk Box.
Squawk Box. It is something like Squawk Box. So this is
Squawk Talk and
Beast Box.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah. I couldn't quite get it. Thank you, Rudy. So they've released this. It's 2 mini tapes combined. Be interesting if they did the whole line. It does fit into Soundwave. I don't know if that's Siege Soundwave. That probably is Siege, isn't it? But I imagine Siege and Arrowfyre is going to be the same size chest compartments. It fits clearly in there as well. But it's a lovely bot. The other models we had before this in third party have been the KFC mold, and it was shit. It was really bad. So it looks good. So imagine if they're looking at 2 bots, probably around the £20-25 mark. the Doctor Wu pair that you get with Galvatron and Soundwave are £25. I imagine they're going to be a similar price here. So don't know when it's out, but it does look good. What do you think, guys? Would you buy this for your siege bots?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Overflowing with enthusiasm tonight. I might consider it, but not at £25. I don't think. If it was a bit cheaper, maybe. It depends if you really want that.
I mean, it's saying now that like the is it Rat-Bat and Frenzy from Siege? I think that's about 20 odd quid because we didn't get a release in the UK, so it's not that much more expensive than 2 type.
But Rat-Bat was worth it.
Yeah.
That includes shipping from China as well, by the way. So I'm looking at Doctor Wu prices for the 2 figures on eBay as an example. So
lovely. And then we're on to MMC.
MMC.
I might get this now. I've actually started to change my mind. Before I didn't like it. Alexis is starting to convince me.
102 points of articulation, apparently. I don't know what that means. I think that means
what?
That means a good insects and bed.
I think Paul takes him hard panther. Bedroom bot has a great time. So yeah, MMC's Orion packs. He stands at just over 7 inches tall. Be interested how he compares with their version of Megatron.
Nice face, really nice face. Great face on that.
That's a face you could look into. You don't need to be yeah.
So he's like the security officer prime, and he comes with his own metrics. If you look to the next picture, he does come with his own metrics as well. So that's.
Do you think I guess it would be easy to come over another head, wouldn't they? You know, a head which is a bit more juvenile.
Well, if it's MMC, they usually do have, for not all, but quite a few of the bots, they do have the alternate head that comes with it. So it might. But in the comic books, he did have the faceplate at this point, didn't he?
Yeah, this is his new body.
His pre-prime.
Remember the episode where he had to sort of he got fired off a missile, didn't he? He got fired. Someone shockwave shot him off with a missile. He just got his new body. I think Wheeljack gave him a new body, and he went to go do some talks in these negotiations, but it's failed. And he got shot with a nuclear warhead and had to try and survive that. But if you look at the price tag for this as well, so Jamie and I talked about Tarn just before and saying Tarn's a great bot. I think this is a better bot for what you get, and the price of this is actually just about a little bit £5 less than Tarn. So you get a lot of bot. You get a lot of bot here for the money as well.
Tarn comes with a mask.
Well, so is Prime,
so
and Prime, and normally Prime's a bit more, isn't it? Because it's Prime, right? But they haven't. So it's I think it's good bot really. So
cool.
Then we've got Mech Fan Soy's Skullcruncher. Crocodilius, I think it's known as, but this is just a box ready to go. So they've just shipped. I don't know if you got your notification, Paul. I got my notification for Brainstorm being shipped this week. So that's got so Brainstorm's out in the post, and then so that should be here in the next sort of 2 weeks, trying to get out before Chinese New Year, and then this thing will come out hopefully before the end of the month. And then this is the alternative version of Kingdom's Optimus Primal, so Beast Yeti mode, and you can pick this up from your local carpet store. Is this real?
This isn't Kingdom. Alexa shared this into our news, and
there's a video on it. It was on Dame Truck. I saw a video. I just thought, I'm on the shitter, right? I'm just gonna quickly tag it before.
A lovely image.
Yeah. So it's a rare.
Before I get my B-Day
character, it looks like.
Oh, Snowman.
Yeah, Snow. Yeah.
Do you know, I look at that face and it just looks like some dodgy police cop in America or something, doesn't it, with those shades? And
ironically, if he's been accusing you of reckless driving, because he's the one, right? So this is X-Trans bots. Apologies for the picture; they didn't give a very good picture. But this is X-Trans bots, Stunticons, Monolith, and they've now decided to release the toy version after the release of the Toon version. And there was a lot of controversy around the trailer, so it'd be interesting to see how that stacks up. But you get the cars in their forms which they've started releasing already, and then you get the additional chest plate as well, which comes. It looks like it comes. I don't know if it comes as a separate piece. It comes with the trailer. If you flick to the next image, you see it come. You can get the actual whatever this was called. but you can get that as well. It's 6-inch chest, so you can get whichever version. So I know that fans' toys are doing the same thing. You can flip it from toon to toy. I don't know how they're going to release that, but they did advertise both versions. And shout out to Sean Misselbrook as well, if everyone knows Sean. What he's done for DX9 as well, he's done the faceplate to make it more toon accurate, but he's also done he's 3D printed the fronts of the legs. So if you prefer the toy version, you can clip the cars then. So he's replicated what's on the back of the legs and the front for DX9. So you can clip the cars on the front of the legs. So if you want that, chat to Sean Misselbrook. He's on the groups.
Cool.
Yeah, because the faceplate doesn't look that good, does it? It just doesn't look like Menaceur's face.
It feels like they release a Menasor every week.
The DX9 one's silver, so I've got the silver one.
Every week, I swear on the news.
I think it's because Alexis keeps showing us a Menasor every week as well.
Thing.
No, it's not just Alexis, it's like everywhere. It's fucking, just like...
Anyway, it's menacing.
That was the news.
Cool. Right, on to the gentleman that is Arrowfyre. So over to you, Arrowfyre.
Thanks guys. Hello everyone, it's Arrowfyre. Now today we're back with another discussion topic, and this is about Transformers toy collecting. Old collectors versus new collectors. Let me explain. So what you can find is that people cycle through their collection every so many years. So for example, some people had their Combiner Wars collections or their Prime Wars trilogy, had that for a while, but then along came War for Cybertron and they started to sell off their older collection and update it, modernize it with the latest releases and replace that. Now, some people do this, some people like to keep both. You can have a Prime Wars trilogy, you can have a War for Cybertron trilogy collection, and whatever comes next. But there are also some people who like to go backwards. Some people like to collect the toys that they never had before, or even better, like to restore the toys that they have had and have since broken. They like to collect the old G1 toys from back in the 80s. I'm seeing more and more people put up on social media that they say, wow, I finally got a G1 Ultra Magnus and I never had the trailer for it before and now I can complete the image. This is something that we are seeing more and more of. People finally completing their collections after so many years. People being able to track down bits that they've needed, bits that have always been missing. And now their collections, rather than looking modern and new, are a bit more vintage, a bit more restored, like a classic car would be. This is now going to be a classic retro collection. Me personally, I like to keep with a modern collection. I love how the engineering has rolled on over time, but I do see why people like to go back to what they had before. The nostalgia effect can be so strong, and some of these figures and toys that gave us such happiness as children that we want to bring into our adult life and give us that same happiness. I would say it does depend on what the toy is. There are some toys that have really stood up against some of the more modern day releases. Now recently in the Siege line we've had a Generation 2 paint scheme Megatron. I've got it, I think it's brilliant, but I do still want to have the old G2 tank Megatron. It's just a huge green and purple tank that still holds up well today. Now I've also said many times the Transmetal toys in Beast Wars I still think hold up really well today, and any other modern day, typically third party, remake of the Transmetal figures I don't think hold a scratch to the older toys. I would say there's two potential banana skins with this though. One is the white plastic that can really fade over time. I've certainly seen it on some of my old toys. The white plastic does have a tendency to go yellow. Now there is a technique out there that you can use, I don't really know what it is, you might have to Google it, but you can de-yellow it and actually restore it to a white condition. And if you've got a Transformer like a Skylynx or a G1 Silverbolt that's predominantly white, this would really come in handy and allow you to restore it to its original state. The other thing that's a bit of an issue is GPS, gold plastic syndrome. That is something that is a breakage over time from back in the 80s. And if you've got a character like a Thunderclash, maybe a Slingshot as well, that will have a lot of this built within them, there's no guarantee that they'll survive till 2021. Of course, this isn't exclusive. You can be whatever type of collector you want to be. You can have a G1 collection, you can have a G2 collection, you can have a Beast Wars collection, an Earthrise, a Kingdom, whatever you like, you can have it. That's the beauty of it. There's plenty of choice out there. Anyway, that's all from me. I'll hand you back to the guys in the studio.
Thanks, Arrowfyre. Now back on to pickups. So who would like to go first today with pickups? Go on, let's get you out of the way. You've got like 14 to go.
Oh God. I'll be going for about an hour.
Start the timer.
Yeah. Still go wash my car.
I might just stay here, just chug away. Don't mind me.
That sounds like a bit of wank to us. Right,
Yeah.
go on then.
That's what he meant.
A challenge.
Okay. I'll start off. I've got TFC Blot. I've unboxed him, TFC
Cool.
Blot.
You need to spotlight, Alexis.
I like him. You can spotlight me. I like TFC Blot. He's got little arms, which I thought was quite funny. I thought these were his big arms at the back. Anyway, I'll move quickly.
Oh, that was something else.
Also got TFC Overbite, is it? Is it Overbite? No, that's the secret.
Have we not seen that before?
It's their
I
version
swear
of
to
Ripper
God.
Snapper, but I can't remember what
Ripper
it's called
Snapper,
now.
Ripper Snapper.
Yeah.
And I found what I thought interesting, because these guys are on the Seacons, and it's almost the same looking. So if you remember Overbite from the Seacons, and
Yeah, that's
Snapper,
what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
They look very similar, but they actually are completely different molds. I thought they could have been lazy and done the same mold because it's the same company and the same size bot, but they've actually done a new mold. So I've got these two, which is quite good. So I want to transform them into their beast modes, because I really love the beast modes for them. I got those two. So I got MPRC, which I think is the best looking car mode that we've had for RC, and she even comes with like, you get the little thing which tails of the Junkions as well. Underneath looks like a pile of trash, but they all do. And that's the best of them, to be honest. If you look, so I've got MMC Azalea to compare. You can see they're all junk. This is Azalea. So what I've done is I've actually bought Azalea. I've got Azalea here, but I've got the other version, one with the high heels. I didn't like it, so I've got this version. This was on the groups recently, so I bought them to do a comparison. So I need to now transform my Fans Toys Rouge again, and we all know what happened a few weeks back when I tried transforming that thing. It's just a ball ache trying to get his shoulders to flip around. But I want to try and do it to do a comparison for all four bots. But you can see the size difference in the car. These two actually in robot mode are the same height. It's ridiculous, right? But she's such a good car mode. Like, love that car mode. I do hear horror stories about transforming her, so that'd be fun. I got
a heater. I see that behind you.
Yeah.
Planet X Ironhide. So this is from the Wolf Cybertron games. But I bought him for my IDW Ironhide. So what I started doing now is
good.
He doesn't. I transformed him in Poor Light when I was quite tired. I found it frustrating. Hard Panther, by the way, Paul. Hard Panther. But he's a solid bot. He's just very plasticky, I found. I also bought the Ratchet mold as well, because I thought if you're going to buy one, you might as well buy the other. So I got that as well. They come with a gun and a big battle axe as well. And there's similar height to Ironhide. It's just an alternative version. I've seen someone post them on the groups who really liked this mold. So for my IDW, I'm going for all sort of Cybertronian modes for the alt modes. So got that. Picked up a blue streak. I got one eventually. Got a blue streak. So that's going into the collection for the lads. So thank you, people, for shouting out where we can get those from. And then I've got one of these roundabouts as well. Got one already, but I've got a second one, and we might do something crazy with this in a little bit. You know, not today, but some other time maybe.
Sacrifice it to a pagan god.
Might sacrifice it to Transformer gods. So watch this space, people. You might be pleasantly surprised what we're going to do with that later today or another day. I've also got the extra, and I haven't got these out, but the X-Transbots add-on kit. And what the add-on kit gives you, and I know you guys like the box art, so you'll appreciate this. Box art, because Jamie, you liked the X-Transport box art last time when we looked at it.
Yeah.
They do make an effort. So, and if you look at the other side, You can see it's all them sort of coming together.
I think it's what Paul said, even with the Legend stuff, third-party stuff, put a lot of effort into the box art.
They do. So this is
Part
basically
of the whole toy experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. This is basically the so you get add-ons for the cars. So when you're actually in combined mode, it actually makes it slightly bigger in the arms. So you've got chunky arms, and you've got the laser effects as well in the different faces. That's about it. But I bought that because I wanted to do it properly. And then
So you didn't get much this week then?
No,
this is a slow week for
Alexis. He doesn't get much. I need the £2,000 worth of.
This was a heavy week. So I'm just saying, I'll make sure I haven't forgotten anything. This is a heavy week. This is a heavy week, so don't, because the tumble dryer broke this week, so I have to buy a new fucking tumble dryer.
Did it transform?
You know what you want to transform. To be honest, we've had one. We've had one which is a hand-me-down. So the tumble dryer we had was like 16 years old. So we've got.
You got a 16-year-old fucking not tumble dryer.
It just broke. Yeah. And then this is the trailer. So again, box art looks pretty good. What I like about this, and you guys might appreciate the retro style. You get this. You get the old tech specs. So there's a camera. There we go. So
I don't think I'll ever get bored of seeing tech specs.
Exactly.
It's ingrained from my childhood that it just, when you see it, it evokes just pure emotion. Carry on.
Bring it back.
So this says the mechanical behemoth known as Monolith can be unstoppable if he was solely under Gravestone's control, but combined in the only time when his components can't try and read my mind. Hatred and fear for the commander can counter his will. Flip-up's insanity, crack-up's paranoia, overheat's agnomia, and Deathwish's nihilism make Monolith's mind a chaotic muddle that can only express one thing: total destruction. Whenever he's shot for his cyclo gun, a blast from his iconic saber simply blasts his bare fist.
Fist someone.
Sorry, try and read it. Monolith won't stop until his opponents are obliterated. Sorry, it was flickering in the light.
This is what the president's inauguration was missing out on. I tell you.
So I'm going to do I'm going to do a proper comparison of DX9 and X-Transbots, and if Fansoys get their fucking game on, they've just released Deathwish. No, what's it called? The race car Dragstrip. They've just released Dragstrip, so that'll be out next week. So hopefully they'll get theirs out soon as well. But they've got to do the same. They're going to do the same thing. Fansoys. It's bot trailer. So you've got to wait for the trailer for everything. That's everything. That's me.
Oh, right. Who would like to go next?
Have we got time?
Yeah, that's it. Thanks for joining us this week.
Oh, spotlight. Take me a spotlight.
That was quite quick for you, actually.
I tried.
It was.
Yeah.
Who would like to go next? Jamie?
I'll go next then. I actually haven't really got anything this week apart from one thing which I got last week, which I didn't have the confidence to show. I thought it was a bit risky, and and I do think it should come with a warning. This is definitely sexy Transformer time, adult time. I got RC, nice RC.
Oh,
I've still yet to open the box. I feel like I should have a box of tissues ready if I do open this box.
Put your dirty Mac on.
Yeah, in the dark, alone, but maybe just a candlelight. But yeah,
Fire hazard, be careful.
But to be honest, guys, I'm after the alt mode. That car mode looks fantastic. That's what's really drawn me in, and it's to go with my MMC figures. And I've ordered the head, the replacement head for, which I think Alexis gave me the link from, and Alexis keeps on inviting me to this dodgy group, which is
Tell the truth. I joined the group about Firebird appreciated people to try and see if I could get a second hand one for Jay, and then I get a lot of interesting photographs.
I know, but so I will open it just to show. Hopefully, I wouldn't drop it like I did with Megatron. So it's in there, second hand. Good deal. I got it delivered the next day, so I'm looking forward to eventually having a good transforming around with it. And I'm actually looking to I think someone's actually done a chess piece for it as well, which is a little bit more civilized and won't get you put on a register if you have it displayed. So I'm looking forward to getting that. So that's actually in the groups, which Alexis also has a link for. Alexis has actually planned this out quite well. You know, but so that was my only thing, which I really got.
Nice. Who would like to go next? Richard, did you have it this week, sir?
Yeah. I picked up one Transformer, and it's the Nemesis Prime, and I love it. I think it's absolutely great. And I didn't have a Nemesis Prime. I've got Scourge, but I haven't got Nemesis Prime, so really happy with it. But the whole box and stuff that it come with was quite confusing, because this is a great figure, and the sword is a great accessory, and this little sword, which is Geezer, isn't it? I think his name is, turns into a bird, and you get Fangtron. But then the rest of the stuff, you get these guns which really don't fit on him. They're a hangover from the Nemesis Power of the Primes figure, and you get the trailer. Which isn't the best, to be honest. It's just all black plastic.
Would it be nice if it could have fit on the trailer, wouldn't it? It just doesn't, those side guns.
No, they don't. I thought that maybe you could put them on the side there, or even like on the side of the cabin. Because of how the tabs are in the recess, they don't really fit. But the most odd thing that I couldn't get over was that, have you seen the tub of plasticine that comes with it?
Oh yeah, with the energy running cubes inside.
Yeah. And I just can't work out why, because this character is basically aimed at probably more adult collectors, let's face it, right? Nemesis Prime is not known to younger kids. And the price point of this thing as well really isn't in the pocket money range either. So I can't understand why they've gone down and stuck the plasticine on to give us a couple of Energon cubes. I mean, if my son's into all this Treasure X stuff at the moment, and he loves that kind of stuff, but that's pocket money kind of range, not like the 50, 60 quid mark.
But and it doesn't taste very nice either.
It doesn't. But I'm happy I have him, because I haven't got a Nemesis Prime, and the Siege mold's wicked anyway. So I'm happy I picked him up. I also finally bit the bullet and ordered Thrust from eBay US. So that's cost me an arm and a leg as well, and it should be here in the next couple of days, hopefully. But as I say, it hasn't come yet. But that was it from me.
Cool. I'll go next. Right.
Oh, leave me last then.
We still got Andrew.
Oh, there's still me as well. Don't worry.
Sorry, Andy.
I'll go last if you want.
We always forget about Andy.
Bangers on my mind.
Oh, shut up, Jamie.
Sometimes Paul says my text message to go, his name is Andy, and I go, oh yeah, that's
yeah. You call him Keith again, right? So this week I got a mini series. Iron. All right, Keith.
It's the lemon.
Keith.
Calm down, Keith.
Keith. Anyway, go on.
Keith.
Don't show Keith your teeth. All right.
I've had loads of Nurofen. I'm a bit high. Right. So Iron's Trans Thunderbolt, which is this guy, which is a Legends size prowl. No, smokescreen. Blue streak. I struggle with
is that a new brand? New
do you know what? I don't know if it is. It feels very Mech Fans Toys. The box is the same size as
that box is really shiny as well.
Mech Fans
Very
Toys.
attractive.
I need sunglasses for that box.
But he's not good, really plasticky. Didn't enjoy him.
Oh, I liked him. I quite liked him. You don't like him?
No, I thought it was cheap, crap transformation, really plasticky. No, I wasn't a fan. And also got something else which I didn't like, which was just a week for shit Transformers. Irons. So I love Iron Factory, probably one of my favorite third party producers. I've stayed away from their Seekers because if you can see the Seeker there, I've never liked it. Don't think it looks good. So I've got a massive Iron Factory collection. I've stayed away from the Seekers. This came up as £15 by someone I knew. So I took a punt on it. And no, he's not good. It's just
£15 for that.
I like him.
No, that's really good.
Price. It was a good price. So I picked him up for £15. Immediately, his head fell off in transformation. Immediately, my son, my 3-year-old Elliot, picked it up, and I don't know where it's gone. He dropped it on the carpet. I said, "Where is it gone?" He just pointed to the carpet. We've got a rug which is really thick and hairy, not with hair, but if you imagine, things get lost in it quite easily. It's about that deep. And I just didn't care that the head was gone at all because I didn't like him. So I hoovered the carpet the next day. I didn't even try to look for the head. So he's headless.
I was about to say I'll buy him from you, but I'm suddenly on the fence.
Yeah, I found the head. Can I put on this head? The head's shocking. It's just the head on Iron Factory. It's just a bit of blue tack. It's a really crap head. But I'll send it over to you. 20 quid. So.
What, the blue tack?
That's just for the head. If you want the body, 30.
I need proof of life, mate.
Right, so Rudy, one last thing which I did order, which is I mainly collect legends, and if you're collecting legends, what would look better with your legend collection than a HasLab Unicron? So I ordered him this week. I sold my Studio Cell Unicron to help fund towards the amount. I think Kapow, wasn't it? Yeah, Kapow suddenly got some. I don't know how they got them in, but I don't know whether Hasbro redistributed some HasLab Unicrons out. But Kapow got someone in, so I quickly jumped in, bought one, sold Zeta Unicron the same day, and he will be coming to my house. He's going. I'm going to display him with all the legends box around him. Is going to commence.
I think me, you, and Alexis will both have that from Kapow, won't we?
I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it in the end. I got mine from Greg. I was going to buy a second one to have two, but I don't have space for one. So I was chatting to the chap you bought it from, Paul, just coincidentally.
No, I bought it from Kapow.
No, sorry, the guy you sold your Zeta to, sorry.
Oh, yeah, he was a nice guy. Really good guy.
Yeah, I was having a chat just about selling something else, trading something else, and I was just chatting to him. He goes, oh, yeah. I said, oh, yeah. No, because he was going to buy my, your fault, actually, Farrelly. Damn it, Farrelly, you owe me money. He was going to buy my my Jet Commander Prime off me. And then he goes, no, I've put my, because he said the Metroplex. He sold it.
Yeah, I saw the Metroplex. He was quite upset when he said it was after a swap for Zeta Unicron and a couple of other bots. And I thought, oh, do you know what? I would love a Metroplex. And if he hadn't sold it, probably would have offered him Zeta Unicron to swap. But then HasLab came up and I bought that and then I put that for sale.
There's a Metroplex for sale for about 134, Paul, of you. I can give you a link to that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, £134.
Yeah.
Is it boxed?
And it's UK. It'll be UK boxed. I don't think it's second hand.
No, definitely. Yeah. Well up.
That's a good price. It's a good price. Yeah, so anyway, you owe me some money because he was going to buy my bot off me. He didn't because he bought your one. So
I'm not sure that's how free trade works, but
I'm pretty sure it is.
Rudy,
I looked it up.
You looked it up on the Ask Jeeves. Paul sold a robot the other day. Cool. Right, what did you get, sir?
So last year I pre-ordered tons of stuff, and it's starting to filter in through now. I got the email saying, yeah, your pre-order is ready. I was thinking, yes, it's going to be Generation Select Sandstorm. It wasn't. So everyone in America is getting theirs, but I got Fantastic Four's Doctor Doom.
Nice.
So super exciting. Last year at HasCon, Firestar got revealed. It was then that I saw that this was getting released, and I thought I can do myself a Spider-Man and his amazing friends shelf. So I'm going to pick up a Spidey, an Iceman, a Firestar, Doctor Doom, and a Green Goblin.
That is amazing.
I'm going to go all in. So it's the second time Doctor Doom has been released. The first time was like earlier in the year, but this is proper comic book, proper cartoon style.
Yeah, the colours are a lot better on that one.
Packaging. Sorry, Rich?
Colours are a lot better on that one than the first release. Absolutely lovely.
Comes with like tons of like accessories to like tomes and like lightning pieces, change of hands. So yeah, super exciting to have action figure goodness.
If someone wants to get into that sort of area, Rudy, how much would something like that set you back?
This?
Yeah, sort of rough market. If I
got this for $17.99.
Very good.
Yeah, because I pre-ordered it so early. It also comes in a snazzy box. But yeah, Marvel Legends, you know, they tend to be about 20 quid. And if you pre-order them early enough, there's always like 10% off and 20% off if you go to the right website. So yeah, that's like 18 quid for that.
Where did you order it from again, sorry?
Kapow.
Kapow.
Well, I ordered it back in October. It got like revealed and then 2 days later it was on the website, and it was just like bang straight away.
And have you noticed as well that you can actually you can watch all of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends on Disney Plus now as well. They've got the whole series.
The whole series.
Yeah, so you can watch all Marvel. So Wolverine,
I'll pack
all
my
the
VHS
X-Men,
away then.
everything. you can just
That's
get a
the only way I watch it. I
week's
don't
trial,
know why,
week's trial and
illegally
binge it all.
stream cartoons.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Allegedly.
Good. Right, Andy. So
Right. So I have got finally been able to pick up a bit of thrust action.
Been a while since you've had some thrust action, isn't it?
Not as long as you'd think. But the wife doesn't watch anymore. I can say it now. No.
It's because she can't
If we're going by the messenger, it was 2 days ago.
No, that was the photos I sent you. Anyway, that's so thrust from Chris Mead, who helped me out with that. And I know he's been selling a few because he managed to get a few from America. He's been selling them on the groups, so I was really pleased because I didn't really want to pay some of the prices people were having to pay to get him. So yeah, I was kind of lucky to pick that up for a not actually completely soul destroying price at all. So I haven't got him out yet because as I was mentioning earlier in the evening, I'm the kind of person that likes to keep them in the box for a little while and just enjoy them as they are. But he will be released soon. No idea if I'll ever be able to pick up the other two cone heads because I did have a lead on some from the US and then it fell through, so never mind. And then the other thing I picked up was my Liam has again been on eBay for his new hobby
of the week.
Exactly, to try Crap Transformer Corner. So he has selected as the Crap Transformer for this week Armada Sideswipe. Now, this might be a controversial one for some of you.
No, it's not.
Good, thank God for that.
I've got him.
I didn't want to have the argument. But I chose to, I thought I'll put him in his robot mode because I actually quite like the car mode. I don't mind the car mode. I think for a Transformer car mode,
it's nice.
It's all right. But, I mean, just look at it.
It's atrocious.
I'm not sure what the thinking is here. It's not complete. Sorry, I should have mentioned that at the start. It's not complete. That's probably part of the reason why I got it so cheap. You know, that it being crap. But it's got, of course, the
Mrs. Robot mode.
I mean, look at that. What? It's just. And actually, the joints and everything on it aren't too bad, but it's.
That's because no one's ever played with it.
Exactly. It's an example. Even the head sculpt just looks. I don't know if it'll come out on that.
I'm just glad Zoom's not got good focus this night.
Yeah.
Wow.
It didn't cost him a lot. I sent him a message about it saying, please tell me you didn't pay a lot of money for this. And he said he did not. But
how much?
It was only a few quid that he got it off eBay for. Again, the great thing about this is, because this is his new little hobby, because he knows I do this. So he's trying to send me one of these. He said he'll try and send me one at least every 2 weeks. But I don't get any warning. So I just get a package arrive that I didn't buy with my name on it or anything. And then it's like, ooh, what's inside? And it's this.
Liam, I think you're going to struggle to beat that. That is atrocious. I have him. I bought a mint in box, sealed in box, I think.
You
from
did,
Rohan
yes.
For I can't remember how much. It wasn't loads, but and you're right, the car mode, and which is what they display him in the box.
Yeah.
It looks cool, and he has a little motorcycle minicon. It looks good as well, and he has his guns. You think, oh, this is decent. Oh, fuck me, when you open it up and get him out.
Well, you know, while we're sending the messages to Liam, of course, probably the worst Transformer that we're going to see in the near future is HasLab Unicron. So if he wants to just pop one of them from that's fine. Just
I can't wait for the day when
Liam.
he trumps it and sends Siege Apeface to your house.
He knows I've already got one and he loves it. Anyway, right. So that was it.
Let
Yeah,
it go. You've got to let that go.
He really does. It's just it's too much.
Oh, I'm so disappointed. I thought COVID was the worst thing.
Just let it go.
Oh, the worst thing in 2020 was CJ Face. I've said the word perspective before, Paul. But
Keep might be privileged, Paul.
Do you know what? I was really upset about COVID. I was more upset about
but then see face game. No, it's like
Andy, at least he's trying to buy crap bots, right? Sam went out of her way to buy a shit bot, packages up, and then gave it to me, which was a GoBot with rubber tires with no tires and just chip paint everything else, right?
I remember we told him to.
Yeah. And you told her to buy, right? I'm going, oh, well, Alicia goes.
We know how much you love GoBots, Alexis. To go with your masterpiece and third-party collection.
No. What hurt the most was the fact she said she paid £16 for it. I was like, 16 quid.
Oh,
fucking
joke.
£16 for a broken GoBot. Are you fucking kidding me?
I think it was worth it.
Very much so. So yes, that was my pickup. So it was just Thrust and the wonderful Armada Sideswipe.
Have you got Frost out yet?
I haven't yet. No, I haven't yet. I'm almost scared to get it out in a way because I saw somebody who'd got theirs and taken it out, and the wing I think had snapped. I don't know if it was when they tried to transform it or it snapped straight out.
The wings can come off, so.
Well, no, it actually snapped though. It wasn't just the detached thing that they come off like they do with the Earthrise type Seekers. It was actually snapped, and he was obviously quite upset because I don't think he bought it from a shop. I might be wrong. I think he got somebody to send one over to him, and then it turns up and it's obviously broken.
Is that your first experience of that mold?
The Earthrise Seekers. No, I've got already got Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp. As I said, I missed out on Dirge and Ramjet, but Thrust is my favourite of the three anyway. So I like I say, I was on the fence. It was just.
Are they really hard to find, the other two?
Thrust
I thought Thrust was the hardest. Ramjet and Dirge.
Dirge and Ramjet weren't particularly out there a lot either. It was again, we never got them over here, so. Thrust is the hardest. Thrust the hardest.
Gentlemen, what would you
just make sure you tab out the wings, the back wings, up near the shoulders before you take the head out, because then you can snap the thing if you're trying to force it.
Yeah, well, I've had problems with that with Slugslinger. The Titan's Return Slugslinger. But I got that, which was a surprise from Claire, and she bought me that a while back. And you forget that the arms tab in, don't they, to the thrusters when you transform it into the jet mode. There's those little tabs that tab in, and I forgot to untab one of them when I was trying to transform it, and now it has a stress mark on it because I'm there going, move, oh crap. And that was literally the first time I tried to transform him. And the stupidest thing about that was I already had Trigger Happy and Misfire that are basically the same mold, very similar. And I should have known.
It's the danger of Hard Skill of Hard Panther. It's a face we all.
The danger of alcohol while transforming robots. 10 bucks, 10 shots. It's always a risky proposition.
What is the going rate now, gents? What would you pay for a good Thrust? No, sincerely, like,
Jamie, that's your area, isn't it?
If you were out there online and you said, well, that's that's not bad. I'll buy that. What would you pay for a good Thrust?
I would have said before Christmas 50 quid. Now I would say you're talking about 50 to 70.
I think the thing is, there's not been many that have been on for 50 quid. There's a lot where you can buy it and it's like 40 quid.
No, but I was thinking about if you bought it directly from America, you wouldn't have been.
If you had somebody who could get it over from you, but there were people selling directly from America, and then it was.
No, but it's when you had that V-ship thing you did, and you could get it from Target.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Well, that's it. You could do it that way, but
and I know people were doing it from Singapore. I was trying to get my cousins to freaking buy me one. No, what did they send me? A freaking Ratchet and another RC one, which was actually a really great gift set. But I know they bought it.
Damn them, getting you another rare.
They actually went for a more expensive one, and I was like, damn you. I meant you should have got me first, but that was cheap. And I was like, I didn't care.
Right.
You got me a sapphire. I wanted the ruby.
That's it.
You cheap bastard.
Yeah. But there's the Takara version of first coming out soon, so that's going to be about 50, isn't it?
That might be cheaper and easier to get, so hopefully for people who haven't got it will do.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
Everyone pull.
So, no, I don't want to do that. It's not dictatorship. It's just I'm in charge. Do what I say. So, right, coming up now is Rohan. Rohan in this week's discussion is going to talk about Beast War characters, which are coming up in Kingdom. So we should all watch this. Well, us four should watch it because our Beast Wars knowledge is pants. And over to you, Rohan.
I do roll like a stone. I take you with me and call you my own.
Much time has passed. We are on a planet far from Cybertron, and it's been 25 years since Beast Wars hit our screens. So, War for Cybertron Kingdom is coming later in the year, and today on Rohan's Corner I'd like to discuss what do we expect to see from the first time we're going to get Beast Wars characters back on the screen. Welcome to Rohan's Corner. So we've just finished War for Cybertron Earthrise, and there have been a lot of disappointed people, and there have been some people who enjoyed it. For me, I feel as though they've held back on Earthrise in terms of production costs by not introducing a lot of new character models. Only really Skylynx and Galvatron got introduced in the Earthrise series. It means that actually we've got a lot more scope in Kingdom potentially. Let's hope that they have held back some of the cost of those characters being created, voice actors and actual production of character models, as well as the fact that most of Earthrise took place in space, didn't have a new planet backdrop to be worked on. And so now we know that obviously we're going towards what we think is Earth with what we think is Dinobot on the Earth. And part of the storyline hopefully is going to incorporate all the other original Beast Wars characters. We already know that we're getting toys of the likes of Primal, Rhinox, Cheetor, Rat Trap and Dinobots, the original main cast of the Maximals in Beast Wars. And for the Predacons, we've got so far Megatron, Waspinator and Scorponok have been announced. Black Arachnia we've already seen, but will she be part of it? Because obviously she moved across to the Maximals in Beast Wars. Will that happen again on Kingdom? We don't know. And what about all the rest of the first season cast of Beast Wars for the Predacons? Tarantulas, Pterosaur, and then later on in the show some of the iconic characters like Inferno and Quick Strike for the Predacons. Will they be incorporated into Kingdom? Let's hope so. Although I've got to be honest with you, the way in which we've seen this series develop, from Siege being a very slow introduction with only a few ideas in that storyline for the first series, Earthrise being a very fast-paced, masses of ideas, but not really finished off very well. And now we've got Kingdom, and I think it's going to be a mixture of the two. We're introducing a few new characters, but also we're introducing a lot of new ideas. And so we've only got 6 episodes. We've got to see how this is going to pan out. Are they going to go hop back to the Generation 1 kind of ideology that they did in Beast Wars Season 3 with the Ark crashing onto the Earth into a volcano and laying dormant? Or are they going to try something completely new? It would have been cool if they had actually crash landed on the Earth and found Waspinator there with a bunch of primates, and Dinobot 2 as the only surviving Predacons on the planet. However, I don't think they'll do that because they're selling too many toys of Beast Wars characters, and with the Beast Wars movie slated in the future, it wouldn't make any sense. So, would they have to incorporate the original Beast Wars characters, maybe say 4 or 5 per side maximum to keep costs down? And then in terms of storyline, something around the Golden Disc, because obviously we saw the disc with Galvatron trying to pass it down to Megatron in Earthrise. I'm not really sure what happened there, it kind of disappeared. And in terms of the toy line, I believe that Dinobot comes with the discs. And he actually had the disc in Beast Wars as well when he stole it from Megatron. I'd also like to see them bring back the Vok and see them represent some sort of connection with Unicron, just like we got in Beast Wars, where the Vok used Unicron's head as a representation or a manifestation to show the Maximals and Predacons who they were talking to. Not that it made too much sense, but it was sort of there. And obviously Tigerhawk disappeared, and we're going to get Tigertron and Air Razor in toy form already, so there's not a far stretch to say that there will be a Tigerhawk toy potentially, since we never really got one in the original series, and also incorporate that character. So who knows, maybe we'll get all of that. It'd be good to see some new ideas as well, something different. Maybe not all of the characters have made it, maybe some are laying in stasis, maybe some are dead, who knows, but it would be good to see some twist or some different kind of idea or suggestion. So these are my thoughts, my predictions for Kingdom. I'd love to hear what you guys are all thinking, and I'd love to hear what you guys on the show think as well. So with that in mind, back to the studio. See you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey boys, we've been rumbled. Well, let's bounce.
Thanks, Rohan. Right, we're coming back with our discussion. And on tonight's discussion, we're going to talk about toys, figures, and robots. So you may have already seen that we have the lovely Rudy and the lovely Xortrider, Richard, on the show. I'm going to hand over to you guys to talk about it. We've also done Blast from the Past before. So guys, what's it all about? What are you guys doing on the show, and what is it in aid of?
Rudy, over to you, mate. This one's your brainchild, isn't it?
I guess so. I've made myself like the de facto leader of virtual conventions. Last year, Xortrider, Rich, came to me and said, I've got an idea. It's called Bots at Home. It's going to raise money for Mary's Meals because we can't go to TFN. And we kind of like fleshed it all out, and then that was kind of our virtual convention. It was a monumental success. It raised like over like £400, possibly like 460, 70 odd pounds for Mary's Meals.
Just 400 quid, yeah.
It fed so many kids, and it felt like going to TFN at the bar. So many people got involved and interacted. And then when lockdown 2 happened, I was just like, let's do it all again. So we did Blast from the Past, nostalgic back look over the last 4 decades. And then it was pretty much like, as I said, me being the de facto leader of this, I said in the middle of November, that was lockdown 2, that's like, if we go into another lockdown or COVID just continues to ravage the world, I'm up for doing another one. And everyone was like, oh, okay, cool. And then obviously, yeah, we're in lockdown 3. We're like, how many weeks are we in now? 4, 5? Like, yeah. I got furloughed like just before Christmas, and then I got made unfurloughed, and then flexi furloughed, and then I've been at work all week, and now I'm being furloughed again.
It's starting to turn into one of these weird BBC comedy dramas, comedy series where they used to talk about the event, and that's what we'll be referring to this, the event, don't mention the event.
That's it. Now, Rudy, show the courtroom where you got furloughed.
And it's just, it can be really grating on people's mental well-being. And if you're isolating, or if you're just really struggling with, life in general, I just thought that content creators can come together all under one banner, and we can celebrate toys and toy collecting and our love of that. So on Saturday the 30th, just like the Pots at Home and Blast from the Past, all of us and new members are just going to do a day full of content.
Sounds.
I'm going to do like maybe 3 videos. Cool. As I said, we've got new people doing it. Ben from Ben's Collectibles has decided to join our little soiree, so he's going to do a video. We've got Graham, the Collector 75, Borders Dude, Rich, Brad, Xilion XLR, Toys R Us.
Plastic.
Fingers on Plastic. Well, whoever from Fingers on Plastic, I don't know how many of them are going to do. They're a force to be reckoned with, so there'll be content from them. I'm probably forgetting some other people.
We might be doing it, Rudy, as well.
Well, that's why we're on the show. It's self-explanatory. So yeah, and it's.
Don't we normally just get drunk and just record that? I don't know if that's content creating.
That's the best content. High quality content for the family.
You're going to see action figures, toys, robots, Transformers, GI Joes, and like anything, any toys that make us happy, you're going to see videos on that.
How do you get involved? How did the public get involved? If you want to watch this, you want to contribute, you want to donate. How do you get involved?
Well, you
Literally
send your
just
HasLab Unicron.
Yeah, you send your busted GoBots to Alexis, and you send your overly expensive robots to Paul, and you sell your Robo Titty Banger.
Fuck him.
Robots to Jamie.
I think to answer your question, mate, is just contact probably Rudy on Facebook or any of the other guys who you know, and get in touch, and we'll put you on the agenda if we're going to have an agenda. I hope we do.
I think,
but there's that many people doing that many different things this time round. It seems like it's going to be a really packed day, which is going to be great. It's going to be really, really good.
And then it's liking and commenting and just being interactive and sharing the love for the toy collecting and transforming community.
Definitely for me, where I haven't watched much of the transforming community stuff. The last one, I ended up watching almost all of Fingers and Plastics videos. I just had it on feedback clip, you know, and just going through all his stuff. And I was thinking, my God, his stuff is really well professionally done. He's really good. and I hadn't really noticed beforehand, but, you know, this was going back, I think, in November. And then I started watching other people's content. So it was a good thing for you guys to do and to get people like me who are a bit nervous and don't really watch the stuff because sometimes you don't have the time, and ironically we have all the time in the world right now in some cases. And it was just interesting just to leave the stuff off. And I was watching something which he was doing like 3 and 6 months old, you know, just had it on, you know, constant play.
I think the thing for me that was the biggest success out of all of it, apart from obviously raising the money first time round, was the actual premieres and the chat. When the videos were premiering, it was almost like being at the bar at TFN, or the nearest thing we could get to it. And I thought that was really great because, exactly, because in a time when we've all felt a little bit isolated, it was good just to have a laugh with people who were like-minded. I think that was really, really good, really, really powerful.
With that, you get into like the real minutiae of collecting, and you can hear things that you probably wouldn't. Like, I didn't really know much about thrust or the Seeker mold, and to hear that is really welcome knowledge, because it is going to be my first foray into Earthrise or Generation Selects with Sandstorm, and I'm super excited. And the last thing I want to do is have terrible QC and break it when I first get it. It's that kind of vibe that we try to do with these virtual conventions, that when you do the premiere, you just in the chat chatting, and these questions can come up and get answered, or somebody can say a rude word and laugh.
It's like grapple, isn't it? It's like when someone breaks grapple and they talk about this problem in the tab, and I go, have you not watched our show? We have discussed grapple, and it's been in all the Transforming UK forums. You know, it's like, yeah, so I like it for stuff like that, when you can pick up on potential problems and solve it before they happen.
It's good to be. I'm like obviously super nostalgic. My whole channel is all about the emotional connection to toys and nostalgia, and I'm an eclectic toy collector, so I have toys from all different years, and vintage, modern, and toy shows and cartoons, movies. And I like to hear, and I like to speak about other people's emotional connections, and then you get a lot of that in the chat and the comments.
That's awesome. So do you just want to give us a quick overview of some of the guys who are involved?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got me. I'm going to do a quick look. I'm going to pick an action figure from my shelf and do a quick look, which is a 5-minute kind of look at the figure and chat about what it means to me. But I'm going to do 2 collection spotlights. I'm going to do one on the real Ghostbusters, and I'm going to do another one about Aliens and Predator.
Nice.
Yeah, they're interesting figures to me, so I'll probably do that. If any other pre-orders come in, then I'll try and do another video. But some other people are involved. I know that Bisto Yeti is involved, and he's probably going to look at Kickstarters. Speaking to Graham, the Collect 75, he's looking and going to do a video all about being a Transformers collector in the 90s, when, you know, after 93, Transformers really kind of, it died. But obviously, he's one of the biggest Transformer collectors ever, and he was just going strong. And it's an intricate video all about that and the mentality and what you could buy, what you couldn't buy, and how you interacted with fans, but in that period of time. I think Toys R Us is going to take a look at Landcross, the Victory combining team, because his collection's ridiculous, and he
insane.
was just like, which one should I pick? Like, I was thinking about doing this, and I was just like, oh my god, yes! Like, the Japanese continuity is like my favorite, so that's one person that's definitely going to watch. But I think a lot of people, newer Transformers fans might not know of the Japanese continuity and what it means. Rich, do you want to explain what?
Yeah, so I am going to do a version of Room 101. So I'm going to call it Toy Room 101. So I've got Brad excelling XLR, I've got Bumble Jumper 82 Ed, and I've got Junkie Dave Shotton, all doing parts, and they're going to try and put things into Room 101. I'll give you the subjects, if you like, about what they're going to try and put in. So we've got, what collecting habits do you want to put into Room 101 about yourself? What is the worst reboot ever, whether it be cartoon, film, toy, whatever it might be? What the worst year was for toys, and then a wild card. So it's basically just going to be us mucking about, throwing some stuff in, doing some bad jokes, pointing out Borders dude's hands movement, and maybe
sounds like a lot of fun.
What you're talking about there, Rich. I love
Exactly.
Borders dude.
Oh, bless him.
He's great. He's brilliant, though.
And probably a few wilderness jokes as well. But yeah, so that's what we'll be doing. I think Junkie Dave is doing a video. I think he's doing a Cyclonus review, isn't he? I think he's done one of his metal reviews. So he's really talented. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with that. It's a bit heavy for my taste in music, but nevertheless, you can appreciate someone who's got some talent, can't you? I'm not quite sure what Brad is doing, to be honest, this time round, or Red. Maybe it's a bit of a surprise to you now, Rudy.
I don't know. We don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
Because we want to kind of leave some of that excitement.
Yeah.
Just to let people see and be interactive on the day, and just like, oh, who's coming up next? Oh, I've never seen that YouTuber before. Oh, I have no idea what they're going to do.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know about you, Rudy, but it's quite surreal. Like when you get Ben involved, and even Graham the Collector 75. I mean, years ago, I watched Graham the Collector 75 do his videos. He was one of the first YouTubers I watched. And fast forward 4 years, I'm meeting him on a car park in Tamworth to sell him a typewriter.
To do what? To do what?
Glad you clarified there, Rich, because that was getting a bit.
I tell you what, this dogging is good.
Flashes his headlights, waves the G1 box out the window, and then you move in.
It's funny you
just
say
leave
that.
Against the screen.
It's funny you say that. It was, I think it was TFN 2019 or 2018, and we were sitting around having a beer, and you came over, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's Xortrider!" you were handing out your cards for YouTube. I was like, "Oh, his videos are awesome," and I could never imagine they come.
It was 2019, wasn't it?
That's it. Yeah,
I remember we invited you to come and sat down, and we
come here to our table
because I was saying about I enjoyed your videos and everything. And I remember after you'd gone, and I turned around and I was saying to my wife, "Oh, it was all right. I was just sat talking to Xortrider." And she just looked at me and went, "Who's Xortrider?"
Who's that?
Reality check. Oh yeah, I forget. Not everybody thinks this is as big a deal as I do.
It was a big deal. And I remember seeing Rudy. Rudy was outside talking to someone. I was like, "Oh, that's Rudy Zissou." And it's just crazy, isn't it?
I must have been just drunk over that weekend.
I think I must have had about 30 odd subscribers when I went to TFN 2018.
One of them was me.
And then it exponentially jumped up. I think I gained about 50 subscribers.
Cool.
But alluding to what Xortrider said, it's incredible that I was watching Graham 10 years ago, and then I'm chatting to him every other day. And then to have such a big YouTube subscriber count as Ben, Ben's Collectibles. And if you want to watch and understand how to transform a figure, you watch Ben. To have him come on board, to approach us as well. It's really humbling to know that somebody's engaged in what we do and wants to be part of it.
Yeah,
he's a lovely guy. I met him a couple times. He's a lovely guy. Sorry, Rich.
It's all right, mate. It's not discounting anyone who's just got 10 subscribers and wants to take part. You know what I mean? It's great that these people have, like Ben has made a career out of it, hasn't he? And Graham the 75 has been one that we've all probably looked up to, but we all start somewhere, don't we? And I've got no ambitions of getting really as big as Ben. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure most of us haven't. We do it for the love and the fun of it. Yeah. But I enjoy someone who's doing the first video, who's taking part in this just as much as Ben. So if anyone's out there who wants to take part, who hasn't even made a video before, then just do it and take part and join
I'm sure we'll get Arrowfyre and Rohan doing a video for you guys as well. So
Arrowrider.
That's me and
Arrowfyre.
Arrowfyre.
I was looking at Xortrider. I was looking at Xortrider again. Arrowrider.
I was looking at
away with you, Arrow. I ride you.
Can I just click you back very quickly?
I've still got
Xortrider. Nice. So have it. I've just pulled it out of my TF Nation drawer, which my wife would say, why can't we use that in clothes? Because it's for important things. That's why.
I had a couple of questions. I wrote down. So Landcross, you mentioned Toys R Us was doing. I wrote them down because there was quite a lot of information. So Toys R Us, Landcross. You mentioned Japanese content. I don't know what Landcross is. I'm curious. What is if you can expand on what Toys R Us?
So Landcross is the multi-force team from Transformers Victory. So there were two robots, like Wing and Waver. They would combine together to make Wing Waver, and then they would all combine together to make one Gestalt, one combiner team. But it's so incredibly done that you can have 36 different combinations. Cool. In a G1 combiner.
Is that the one with six different parts that combine it? I'm thinking about a different. Yeah.
And they all interconnect with each other, so you can put like a boat with a tank and.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what was Bisto Yeti doing again? Remind me of that one.
So Bisto's really big on Kickstarters, and he picks up. Again, he's a super eclectic collector. And he buys so many varied stuff, and he's often taking part in Kickstarters and getting stuff. So he's going to do a video on what he's picked up in the past year or so from doing Kickstarters.
That sounds pretty
contributing to Kickstarters.
Cool.
God knows what they're going to be.
And I'm looking forward to toy socializing in the 90s, because obviously there wasn't much internet. There wasn't much social media, so 1993, as you said, that would be an interesting
internet.
I'll let you know. 1995 is when the internet was kicking off with Netscape. It was like, wow.
Bit of AOL online.
Netscape. That's something I've not heard in a long time.
Oh, Alexis I just got rid of it last week. I'm now on Google Chrome.
I know we said we wouldn't talk about highlights of Bots at Home or Blast from the Past, because I didn't want to, take away from any video that people did, but Bisto was really drunk on sake, dressed up as a Tankuni to review a Beast Wars figure. That was a pretty big highlight, actually, when I think about it. That was a great video.
It's the content we come here for.
Yeah. If you want to see idiotic content, come to Toys, Figures and Robots. I assure you there will be one video.
Like,
if they're watching this show, trust me, Rudy, they want to see it.
Sounds like Bisto needs to get on our channel for a bit of a crossover.
You get. I would invite Bisto on.
Joseph,
for sure.
Joseph, he's awesome.
Bisto, if you're watching next week.
He does watch. He comments loads as well.
Yeah,
his videos are amazing. So
no, just for the hype. Cut that out.
You can't... What's wrong with that?
Leave that in.
Yeah, we'll leave that in.
I'm not doing 3-2-1 this week, you wankers.
Right, and just before we finish up, I'd just like to talk about your channels, because it's a big thing to have you both on. It was a big thing for me last time to have you on, Rudy. It's a big thing for me to have you on this time, Richard. So I'll start with you, Richard. How did you get into YouTubing? You've been doing it for years and years and years now.
About 4 years now, I think 4 or 5 years. It was one of them things where I'd not really have personal social media accounts or anything like that. It's something I've never really gotten into. But as I got a little bit older, I started to really get back into Transformers, and it was actually my 30th birthday. I went to the Comic Con in London, and I saw the reissue Predaking for sale, and I thought, you know what? I can buy that now. I'm 30. I don't have to save up my pocket money. I can just buy it myself. So I did. And I bought that, and I bought Cyclonus, G1 Cyclonus on the same day. And then I just really got back into Transformers. And then it was like kind of a thing I'd always done on my own. Even growing up, not many of my friends were interested in them. And then I started to go on Twitter, and I met a few people on there. My good mate James, who I speak to really often, and a load of other people. And then I learnt about AA and auto assembly, and then eventually TFN. And I decided I was going to go to the first TFN and actually try and take a more active part of it. So I started to do a few videos, and they were goddamn awful. They were terrible, the first ones. And to be honest, the more recent ones aren't much better. But it's just something from there, and it started to be something I was quite passionate about doing, something I really enjoyed doing. I enjoyed the editing side of it. I enjoyed taking the mick out of certain people and having a laugh, because that's what my personality is like. And it was just great, and I met some really, really good friends. I met Rudy, obviously, through this, and through that panel that me and
Tony
Soundwave SG1, Tony Thrussell, Mr. Lynx Africa.
How was that? How was it? He's so militant, isn't he?
It's a
classic. That was 2018, wasn't it? 2018.
It was at the YouTubers panel, wasn't it? It was you and.
Is that where Tony got Lynx Africa Man of the Year? Was it?
It's where he told everyone off not wearing deodorant. I think.
That's what he does every year, isn't it? Oh, deodorant sales have gone down last year because no one's been at TFN. It's basically just to try and interact with people and trying to find like-minded people who are into this kind of stuff, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And because of lockdown and everything last year, I tried to put in a little bit of a routine on my channel. I'll do this week in toys, which is a blatant rip-off of the Fwoosh. I don't know if the Fwoosh week, if you watch the Fwoosh, he does action figure reviews, and he has a weekly show each week when he talks about what's going on. And I thought, well, I'll rip him off. I'll talk about what's happening, and then I'll talk about what the thing's about.
Best form of flattery.
And gone down really well. And it's not all about subscribers, but since I've been doing that and putting out regular content, more people have been watching, and I'm really grateful. So yeah, that's it. Rudy, over to you, mate.
Well, my mind's got similar elements to that for sure. But I've been a toy collector on and off for years and years, and I think I've been watching YouTube from the start, but I didn't really know how to use it or interact with it. But like, it was deep rooted that I wanted to do YouTube, but part of me didn't have the confidence, and I didn't have a strong enough toy collection. And this was about 2011, 2012 that I thought, you know what, I'd quite like to do YouTube. But I kind of I didn't know, as I said, I just didn't have the confidence, and I didn't think I could do it. But I was always so inspired by other people and thinking, God, I can do that. I really enjoy watching this. Maybe it's fun to do it. I also needed something to take my mind off trying to have a child. It took me like 5 years to have kids. So I needed something else to worry and panic about and to focus all my nervous energy into. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to do YouTube for sure. I've designed all my shelves and my Kallaxes and stuff. I am ready to go. And then I just turned the camera on one day, and off I went. Thinking back to my first videos, I didn't know how to edit. I've had a MacBook for years and years because I'm trained as a graphic designer, illustrator, and whatnot. I've got various qualifications in that. I've had like Movie Maker on my computer for like 10 years, and I just didn't edit at first. So my first couple of videos were like 10, 12 minutes, one takes. I just, if I got it wrong 6 minutes in, I'd stop and then re-go. But then people started commenting and interacting with me, and it gave me that huge boost. And then I started to kind of really get into it, and I didn't look back. And then I met Rich. We started Figure Force, and bigger YouTuber. Well, people that I think were bigger YouTubers kind of interacted with me, and the conversations started. And then I went on people's shows, and I just I haven't stopped doing it since. I don't get to do it as much now because now my children are 15 months old and they take up all my time.
And they're twins.
I've had to put toys into storage as well because I've run out of space because it's taken up with theirs.
You came on our show last time. I remember you saying about that as well before, about obviously the trying, and again I said something, trying to get that space from the kids as well. I just want to say Calex's, that's where it's at. People
that's where it's at.
Don't. My boss's boss says that it looks like I'm in a bowling alley where you put your shoes.
Oh, yeah, it does a bit.
Shut up.
Very expensive shoes.
I was just going to ask a genuine question for the two of you. So, Rudy and Xortrider.
Is it about AMF?
No. I write down stuff. So, if we have guests on, who, when you were getting into this, who got you excited? What did you aspire to? Which YouTubers were you watching and going, "Oh, I want to be like that," or
back in the day,
love it, or you write down? Because I often watch YouTubers to get techniques or ideas and sort of. So you mentioned, so again, you go to Ben for like transformations. So for me personally, I like to give little 5-6 minute overviews. I've done one video, that's it, on my own. I want to do a couple more just on like if I can help other people out and like give it a guidance and show comparisons. And that's what I get from transformation.
You want to marry Bobby Skullface? You love him.
Shut up. What who do you
guys? You want
to
have coitus with Bobby
I'm
Skullface.
trying to be sincere now. What do you guys? Who did you guys originally aspire to? What
and
what
why
do
is
you
it Bobby
guys?
Skullface?
Who do you guys aspire to? What did you get from the?
I think Graham was one because the fact that he was into like more of the generation one stuff, which was my bread and butter and always will be my bread and butter. And so it was definitely him because he was the most knowledgeable person. It has to be Thu as well. How he evolved his videos and what he's become and the way that he's evolved his style. And he's got his own unique style. Now you don't watch Thu to understand the transformation. You watch him because he's entertaining. And you want to hear what he says, and it's really professionally put together. So there's those elements of that. But I suppose that the one thing that I always took from was I like these YouTubers who don't ram down the throats about subscribing or join my Patreon. And no disrespect to anyone who does that, but I don't monetize any of my videos. I don't have a Patreon because I don't want to confuse this with work.
Paul's checked out. Paul wants to do that, so he's checked out right now.
Oh, right.
Stop your lies.
But yeah, I think you can learn off everyone, don't you? But yeah, I'd say at first it was Grant and Bobby Skullface as well. Yeah, joking aside, he was one of the ones that I watched quite early on, and I kind of, even though I don't agree with his opinions a lot of the time, I kind of like the fact that he wasn't afraid to put them across, and I think that's kind of good as well. Rudy?
I'd mentioned Graham. Graham was always an inspiration. But I often watch Toy Galaxy. Dan Larson. I like Dan Larson's approach to toy collecting. It's always, if you see two, leave one for the next collector.
Yeah.
That's the mentality to have. But what I got from that in terms of collecting is kind of just enjoy toys, irregardless of what they are, just to really embrace the varying toys it can get, and just certain production values and how to not necessarily script, but how to be professional. I kind of got those things from those types of shows. The man himself, Xortrider, just he was obviously an inspiration. And
who's Xortrider? I've never heard about this guy before.
Oh, sorry, I mean Arrowrider.
Arrowrider, really good
Arrowrider. He's like a Bisto Yeti wannabe.
Yeah. And then it's not necessarily like name dropping or anything, but there are certain people that I'd watched because they portrayed kind of their enthusiasm, and that's always contagious, and it makes you look back at your own toys or toys that you've forgotten about. Those are the types of channels that I gravitate to, and ones where people are interactive. I always love watching Deluxe.
Yeah.
Deluxe Baldwin.
Yeah,
Kato,
I like Deluxe.
I've done shows with Kato before, and I've been on around 30 with Deluxe.
Kato's cool.
It's,
and the Rejecticons. I've been
the
watching quite a lot
Rejecticons,
of them in the last year or two. You know, when I discovered them, and they seem like really nice guys, but they kind of seem a little bit like an American version of us when they do the shows where they kind of cut loose a bit and they kind of do it live, and they've had Patriot Prime on and swearing comes out.
Rodimus, is it Rodimus Primal as well goes on there as well? I do like Deluxe as well. Deluxe is pretty cool.
A question for both of you guys again. When you're starting out, or even when you're doing it now, do you have a type of identity you want to project to people? Is there something about you want them to like, or this is you, or do you think maybe that's a bad idea to focus in one type of identity, just try to be as natural as you can be?
I think it's a latter for me. I think it's about being yourself, and like in every walk of life, right? There's going to be some people who get on with you. There's going to be some people who don't like what you do, who don't like your style. In whatever you do, whether it be at work or home or even making YouTube videos, and I think the most important thing is just to be yourself and don't put on a false identity. I don't want to be someone who comes on the screen and swear every 2 minutes. So that's one thing that I say to myself. I don't mind dropping the odd swear word in there if there's context and all that kind of stuff, but I don't be effing and blinded every few minutes.
Is Scottish enough context?
That's all the context you need, Jamie.
That's all good. But I suppose I always think, especially since like my son's like 4 now, but I think when he's older and he wants to look back at this stuff, I don't want to do anything that's gonna like make him feel too embarrassed. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. But yeah, Rudy.
What you see on the screen is what you get in real life. That is exactly who I am. I get overly giddy around toys. I'm really particular about toys as well. So if I say it's awesome, it pretty much is. I take collecting right down to the wire. I don't buy toys that often, but I'll buy in some ways slightly more expensive ones, or I'll save up a bit longer because I want to get that high end stuff. As well as sometimes I'll cheekily go on eBay and buy a carded Batman figure for like £6. But yeah, that's generally who I am. And just to reiterate what Rich said is, don't do a false persona, because then you have to do it forever. If that is your thing, just go with it. Don't create an identity. There's little tricks you can do for sure. I'll often be in a cap now, and I'll always have my glasses on. I'll often wear the same t-shirt for continuity. I watched a documentary once. Actually, I watched a documentary about making documentaries, and they were talking to David Attenborough, and he said, we film things 2 to 3, sometimes 4 years apart. He said he had a wardrobe of the same shirt or variations of the theme. So when he does film something 6 months later or a year later, it looks exactly the same. So that's why you often see me in a hat, because I'll film something one night and then I'll film it the next day, because I want to be kind of professional. I want it to look like I filmed it all in one night.
Yeah, I tried that once. Unfortunately, the leather I use doesn't wipe down quite as clean. So it's like you get sticky patches, and like you have to and tumble dryers don't work. So often with horror movies. Well, when you sort of have those sort of movies, you know, it's quite
that's
hard.
Such a cool idea, really.
It is a cool idea.
Very much. I'm very from an academic background. and it's all about design, partly for me as well. So as I've done my own branding, I have a look and a feel because I enjoy doing that aspect of it, as well as making the content and, you know, getting excited about toys. I like having it as a complete package because that's how I'm trained to do, to an opening sequence, to asking Dave Shotton for a theme that coincides, that talks about who I am, and then doing artwork and to build it into one complete package. It's like somebody had given me the brief. I gave myself, I gave myself the brief of this is how I want my YouTube to look and feel, and then I just worked my own brief to be like, this is my brand IP. And then I don't really even do it for subscribers. I do it literally pure for the love. Don't get me wrong, it's awesome to get new subscribers because they often bring new questions and new interaction and all that jazz. Funnily enough, I didn't really make that many videos last year, but in the space of like November to January, I gained something like 20 subscribers, and I didn't really make that much content, but people have been going back to previous videos, or one of my videos must have flicked up on a recommends because I literally have gained 20 odd subscribers, and I just haven't been putting that much stuff out. So that's exciting.
That's cool.
I think one thing that's really, when I look around in this room now at all my tat that I've collected over the years, what I've noticed is since I've joined and met new people through YouTube, it's influenced my collection. So I ended up. So first of all, I was a Transformers collector. Like for God knows how many years, I would only buy Transformers, and I wouldn't buy any third party. And then I bought some third party, so I've now got third party. And now, since doing Figure Force with Rudy and Dave Shotton and even Borders do to a certain extent with his wrestlers, I've gone and I've actually rediscovered some other lines from when I was a kid. So I'm massive into the Black Series at the moment, massive into it. I'm buying like everything, the Mandalorian and original trilogy. I'm buying those. I even, because of Dave Shotton,
I was going to say, anything to hand.
Yeah, something. So I don't know if you remember these.
Dollies.
Yeah. So this is my childhood Cobra Commander, and I've got Duke and Snake Eyes as well. They've been sitting in my loft for years, but Dave's recently got into these, and it's like, oh, I've got some of them. So I went up the loft, dug them out, and I've spent a couple of quid, like getting the pieces that I've lost over the years. So I've put those back together.
Very nice.
And other things are like when I look.
So this guy, before you carry on, this guy, he joked about me buying a dolly at TFN. And now look at him. Look, he's all over it.
I still stand by that. That gem doll is a doll. Right, that's an action figure.
It's an action figure, mate. It's an action figure. But I know it's a doll.
It definitely is a doll. But even when I look around, like I've got the signature that Rudy got me of Stan Bush, like on with a. Actually, I'll grab
2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of me, I don't know if I can go back to TFN because it's going to be a hard act to follow.
Yeah. Was that 2018 or 2019?
That's 2018. There's mine. Yeah. Stan Bush.
I couldn't hang about to get the signature, and I thought I'd missed out on it. And then Rudy sent me the page with his autograph on with this awesome drawing. So that's on my wall. But when I look around now, there's so many things that have been gifted, and like you got me those Alien and Predator figures, and they're absolutely awesome, Rudy.
I was going to ask, Rudy. Though, sorry, Rich. The Alien Predator figures. Are they the original ones from like the 90s, 80s? You're talking like since the movie released in 2003, was it? Or whatever, the new ones. So the Alien Predator figures. Which ones do you collect? Which ones do you collect?
For you, or me or Rudy? Sorry, because I've got some as well.
Both. Which ones? Which guy? Which one? So I remember back in the 90s, there were original Alien, like when Aliens came out, and you saw them in Argus, and then it was like the new figures, like the proper articulated ones. Which ones do you guys collect?
So whilst he goes and gets them, I am the NECA ones. I don't have any of the 1990s ones. I don't have that much connection to them, and I don't want to give too much away for what I'm going to do for Toys, Figures and Robots, but they are NECA.
Is NECA high class versions?
NECA guys is what I collect with my turtles. NECA is turtles.
Yes.
Same
NECA.
as these. This is NECA. NECA is turtles. So they're highly articulated, screen accurate figures.
NECA bingo.
And they do a variety of different brands. If you want NECA,
NECA has got so many IPs now. It's unreal. Yeah. It's kind of like a go-to.
So they're actually official. They're not like dodgy third party.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So you got the two main ones. You got NECA and Super 7. So my Thundercats things were Super 7, and I don't know if you guys have that. I just can't get Lino. It's a doll. I couldn't get over it. It's just, but Super 7 Turtles. So this is cool. Sorry, NECA Turtles was cool. Super 7 Thundercats were like meh. I don't know if you guys have ever felt that at all with the figures.
You got that alien stuff you said, Richard, from
yes. So I've got so that is one of the kind of ones from back in the day that I think I got from Index, if you remember Index.
Wow, Index.
Yeah, remember.
What a shout that is. Index, my God.
Index carbon copy of Argos.
Yeah.
So that was in a 2-pack.
Poor man's Argos.
It was, wasn't it?
It
sold clothes for a while, which was really odd. But yeah, so I got this one like when I was a kid. This is like my childhood one with an alien figure. But I've got the NECA, some NECA ones, but I've got some vintage ones as well. I like to have a little bit of a mixture of both. I'm a bit of a fan of Arnie as well, so I've got like loads of NECA Terminator, little tiny bit. I even made one out of a John Cena the other day because I was bored.
I love the sunglasses. Nice.
It's like looking in the mirror with that physique. I can tell you.
Well, I modeled it on Alexis. That's what I did.
That's it.
Chiseled.
But decision next move.
I like how you got my eyebrows.
But yeah, like so I've got like basically I love like the original Predator film. I've got virtually every version of Dutch that NECA have done. I've got a couple of the Predator figures, but if I'm honest, I prefer this is probably my favourite Predator. This and the one that you got me as well, Rudy, that's in this style brings back so many nostalgic memories of that original line. And his gun's falling off. But yeah, I've got that, and I've got a rule with aliens as well, Kenner aliens. That I never want to spend more than £5 when I buy one. So if I see, I'll only collect them if I see them for like really cheap.
So a friend of ours, he lives in China. He's a teacher over there, and he basically got like what was it? It was a light, wasn't it? It looked like an alien face had the light, like that, and it glowed, and the thing came up. He bought it for like £6.
So the alien egg with the face hugger coming out.
Yeah, that's it. It's basically the face hugger came out right. I bought it for £6 off a market. Looks online, £100. He was like going, "You're joking."
It's almost like China does stuff cheap.
He was going to buy more than he was like going. No, I'm going to put this now. This is in a shrine. It's like, but right. Over there though, so robots over there, you get third party Hasbro, Takara. They're half price. There's no tax, obviously, so it's like chop. But this look like.
Benefits of living in a dictatorship.
Rich, I'll show you the picture of the egg.
Small price to pay.
It's really cool. It's a little night light. It's a night light. It's really cool.
Right. So next Saturday is going to be the launch of figures, toys, and robots, which is the 30th. So please join us there. So you can. I guess you can go on the YouTubes of the world. We obviously have TF UK. We'll be streaming it on there, putting all the posts up. What other Facebook groups can they go on? I guess Transformers and such. They'll be doing it as well.
Transformers and such. Toy Division.
Toy Division.
What time does it start?
1 o'clock.
That's when we're starting. So wake up early, Alexis.
1 p.m.
To be fair to Alexis, he's usually up about the same time I am on a Saturday at 6 in the morning. He's one of the first people he posts. Those of us with children, Jamie doesn't roll out of bed till sometime mid-afternoon.
Gentlemen, those dick pics don't send themselves. You know that.
That's why.
Right, there is literally no schedule yet. I haven't even filmed my stuff.
No, we haven't. We're thinking about doing 10 shots.
I am furloughed from tomorrow.
We're not doing that.
We're thinking of getting drunk.
No, we're not. No, we're
I was
not.
mostly involved.
Why are you pretending you're saying no, Alexis?
No, because I suffer more than you.
All right, cool.
That's
so
just the
we'll be doing
translations.
10 shots, 10 pods, which is our favourite thing to do next Saturday. So thank you. Join us on TF UK. Rudy, what's your YouTube channel?
It is just my name. But I do go by the moniker of Rudy Zissou Presents the Science Fantasy Experience.
Superb. And Richard, what is your YouTube
Xortrider, that's XORT and then Rider.
And I'll post all the links to everything in the description, as I always do, because I'm so reliable. Thanks for joining us tonight. See you at next week's. Bye.
Yes.
I want to drink wine.
Let's just do a test. Alexis, what's it called?
Voice figures and bots.
Nice. That's the end of
Is
that
that
test.
the test? just test Alexis.
I want to drink wine.
Wine wheeze.
Yes.
No,
yes.
Richard.
Now on every week.
I want to drink wine.
I think I spend more time on the branding than I do on the actual editing and the show.
What he means is he spends more time on the brandy.
Yeah, the brandy. Not the drink, the 90s dual band. Brandy and Monica. Spends far too much time on brandy. Monica gets well jealous.
I want to drink wine.
And then we'll do some news. Rohan's going to pick up Arrowfyre.
See, it works.
Why does Alexis look as though he's just been caught masturbating?
Paul looks like he's still masturbating. See, I look like I've been caught masturbating. Paul looks like he's still masturbating. Jamie's just climaxed, and Andy's just watching. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I want to drink wine.
So on today, you would have noticed that we have the lovely Xortrider, Richard, and Rudy. We're going to talk about robots, figures, toys, figures, and robots.
I love how you've been coaching us, right, for the last 4 hours, texting us,
don't get the name wrong,
and then you get it wrong at the very start.
Stuck in the waiting room.
He's kicked it.
So noisy. Right.
I want to drink wine.